you were the one that came
Impossible,
up.
yes.
If it is impossible, I believe in impossible.
Yes. Impossible if it's
You
it's
give
not
me hope.
impossible. Yes.
Very nice. So I loved
yeah.
it. So now this week, your own challenges is pushing you back from believing that, right?
Mhm.
Like you were saying, your coworker is causing you stress. Because of that, you wanted to use, but the only reason you didn't use is because it was not available.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is dangerous.
But I didn't look for it either. I just, you know what I'm saying? I didn't
So in the past, you will look for it.
I would look for
so you
it.
see a progress in it.
Yeah.
Even though like it kind of sounds like not very progressive, but in
But
your
it is
mind,
that- it
your
is.
mind, you are seeing a progress.
Because I did not go looking for it.
Okay.
So
I'll give you that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, what I'm saying is, the thing is, what we want to do is validate the space you hold in yourself that is doing the right thing.
Mhm.
So even though for a regular person it wouldn't make sense, I feel that's the whole theme this week I'm speaking about, is how the mental agony. See, like we have 3 different agonies we work with. The physical agony, which is easy to do because, like, you know, in war zone people get torn apart. Doesn't matter to them because they are able to rebuild, because that's a piece of us that we are not holding as us.
Mhm.
The emotional piece, again, like, you know, we fall apart. That's also easy to rebuild because you, like, you know, keep moving ahead. Action-based work kicks out the emotion. The mental agony tortures me. Like, you know, for me, I haven't understood how to rebuild myself because people can mock me again and again and they can tear me down. Like, you know, just by creating mockery, that's enough. I'll fall apart. It doesn't matter how hard I strive to pick myself up. The mind-bending technique, it kills me.
Yeah, that's me too.
And that's the space I am at, and I'm trying to rebuild. And that's where Alice in Wonderland comes in, because she like, you know, in the past I try to keep running so I can stay in the same place.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
So that's why I connect with her more. Yeah. I mean, it's not a big therapeutic technique, but you know, there are so many things about her I really like, and I love the Looking Glass. But to recap, like, you know, the mental torture, I finally went for a conference which was run by Marsha Linehan, who runs the cognitive behavior therapy. She ran the whole program, CBT, DBT. You've heard about that, right? No. So this is just dialectical skill. That is, you speak in a way that doesn't shed emotional currency or hurtful, or, you know, instead you use skill words. Like, instead of saying, like, labeling is one of the abusive things we do to each other. So instead of using "I'm a loser," "I'm this," "I'm that," she says, "Oh, I need to learn this." You know, so, like, let's say I'm a lousy cook. Instead, you say, "Hey, I need to learn how to cook better." Yeah. You know, so essentially, like, you know, so rephrasing, and sometimes rephrasing initially for us, and then if in case people treat you a certain way, you teach them how they treat you by rephrasing it from them. Like, you know, which we joked about. I told you, like, when my husband says, "You're ignorant," you say, "Oh, you mean I need to learn more?" Yes. You need to understand more. So you teach him how they treat you, but in a humorous way, you know, like, so that they kind of can redirect themselves.
I need to use that practice on my husband. My husband's so negative about everything and every little thing in life. It drives me insane. Yeah. He expects the worst instantly, and he speaks the worst instantly. And I always tell him, "You're always thinking negative. You're always negative, and you bring me down."
See, the thing is, again, like, you know, that's because you're putting your power on him to be validated inside you. And actually, I'm doing the level 3 now. Level 1, I did it with poverty. People, like, you know, my own uncle, right, came and told me, "You will never, ever be a doctor. I can guarantee you that." Because I was very poor. And I choose not to listen to people who are in authority, who told me I cannot do something. And this is like the George Clooney movie. I'm again. She was given a coin. Remember the coin, like, about tomorrow?
No. Maybe. Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence. And so she chooses not to accept his destiny for her. So I was given a coin of poverty, and I chose not to accept it. Even my father, like, you know, one day suddenly he said, "You know, actually, I don't believe you're going to do that." And that's what changed me, because I was appalled when everybody in the world said something, I felt that doesn't mean anything. But when my father said, I fell apart. And I cried for 3 days.
Yeah.
And he didn't even understand my tears.
Right.
He just walked by me. He never said, I'm
he
sorry.
Said,
and stuff.
He didn't know that he hurt.
That's because he doesn't understand me. Whereas my mother, built me back together. So that's why, I feel sometimes she learns through me who I want to be.
Yeah.
My dad supported me once I achieved it.
Yeah.
But he didn't know how to break me gently.
Yeah. Yeah.
So through him, I learned another way to live, but he gave me a challenge, which I took it seriously, and I wanted to show him. Essentially, I showed him that I could do it.
I can do it.
Yes. And then I got married to my husband. My husband is my foster dad, I feel. He's a perfectionist, and just like you are. He pushed me so hard. He again and again gave me a challenge. If I do two things at the same time, he says I'm distracted, I'm not focused. I said, how can I prove to you that I can do two things at the same time? He says, write about it. After I finished my 25th book, he finally said, oh, your computer is different than mine. So when you have a perfectionist dad, you become an overachiever because they make you compulsive. So one other rule I tell with my kids, because he's very strict with them, is I tell them, and dad, because even now when I go home at night, if it is my husband's day, because I went through this craziness. That's why I wrote this book, Coding Way to Be Happy with a Dysfunctional Family. So he has 2 days a week responsible for family, and I have 2 days. We have 5 days on, 5 days off. So even now, Monday night, I'll go to a nursing home from here. I'll go home at 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. I'll have dinner. If I don't wash my dishes, put it in the dishwasher, he'll make a snicker next day morning. I have to wash his dishes. I cannot leave the sink dirty.
Right.
So on his day, I play by his role. His crazy role. Wife swap, we do. And on my day, I tell my kids, if you wash, I have a problem. Because I don't want them to be compulsive. Because my middle one is getting compulsive. He will turn off the light. He'll wash. And I said, I want them to learn two different ways to live.
Right.
So I raise my kids as a grandmother. I raise my husband as a mother. So I have 2 jobs now. So I show him by action, and I actually wrote it.
I was just looking at that.
In this book, I wrote, because people thought I was in an abusive relationship. I feel what I'm in is a dysfunctional relationship. With dysfunction, see, abuse means you become the victim and you are helpless. I'm no wilting daffodil. Right. I am actually very powerful. So I feel I'm in a dysfunctional relationship. Every day morning, I choose to wake up with this crazy family. So I feel pretty cool with this. So I feel any dysfunction or abuse is human rights issue. The only thing is you need to do changes one person at a time. And I worked on him now. He listens to me. We came so far. He's so nice to me.
This is a great book.
So I feel it's all a matter of restructuring our family, because being in a dysfunctional relationship only part of the issue. How do you structure yourself better is the second part. So you need to figure out how your new normalcy is going to look like. And this again, I spoke to somebody last week. He was saying how people are being crazy, they are doing this. And I said, that's because you have been sleeping all this time. When you wake up, everything looks like so strange. He must be calling you this million times. So you're waking up from your slumber. So be gentle on yourself and him, and just deal with things that in a healthy way create boundaries.
That's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to show him with, like, when he speaks negatively, I can't even see an example, or he's already expecting the worst to happen. And I say, I try to turn it around and make him see that something positive. I can't even think of an example, but I try to bring out the positive in the situation so he can see it a different way. He was brought up with his mother.
So I'm going to stop you right there because you're trying to control him. It's not going to work. Okay? Controlling is not okay. Because what you are doing is expecting a different outcome because he will treat you differently. People will never validate you. Even if you're God, they're going to have one problem with you. Your eye is twinkling at the wrong time.
Right. That's so true.
So the validation therapy takes into account positive 12-step and CBT. The validation part is, think of everybody as, this is what I tell my husband, thank God I think of you as crazy. I said, if I thought you were normal, I'd be very hard on you. So, I mean, just when I have the right moment. If I say it in the wrong time, I'd be killed. Not exactly.
But
like
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, pick your moments to speak and validate only the piece that makes sense to you. Mm-hmm. Don't validate the crazy part. Mm-hmm. Because everybody have a piece of insanity and sanity. And what I choose is to deliberately listen only to the sane part. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. So if in case he comes and calls me name, I take out the label already. And I'll say, actually, even with my patients, they'll say, BHTCH, go back to your country. That's what they'll say in mental hospital. So I say, hey, first of all, I have all the time in the world for you. Yeah. But until you recognize I'm a human being, not a female dog, I wouldn't be able to even engage with you. Right. So let me go back and come back when you think I'm human. Right. So I'll give them a break. Yeah. They'll say, come back right here. I said, no. I can only talk as a human being, not as a female dog, right? I don't want to accept that label. So walk away. Give them some 15-minute break. I said, I'll come back in 15 minutes. Yeah. So buy time. And then when you come back, if in case they're engaging, like one guy said, I don't want to talk to you. So I said, what is going on? He says, I will use, because when I have done that before with him, they understand now a new rule apply. Yeah. He says, I really want to be medicated, so I'll be proper with you. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, when they try hard, I try to be gentle with them. Yeah. So I say, hey, that's fine. I said, I'm going to give you your medication, but I cannot give you medication unless you sign these papers, you accept being here. Yeah. So you give your rules in a way that works to your advantage. Right. If in case your husband says, let's say, what is it he's saying, you cannot be clean? What exactly is he saying?
He's just a negative, I don't know. Like today, I'm like, we're going to switch pharmacies today because we live in Nashua. And I'm like, instead of going to Milford, why don't we switch about doing our pharmacy in Nashua? Well, no, I don't want to go there because it's not going to happen anyway. And it's going to be, there's going to be a problem. So
how hard it is for you to accept this rule? Is it difficult for you? Let him do his craziness. Is it difficult for you to switch? What I'm saying is, let him run his agenda first. And then if he gives leverage, so one of the things I tell my clients is, let's do your agenda for 1 week.
Let's do your way.
If it doesn't work, will you be willing to listen next week? Right. Can you play fair?
Right. Yeah.
So buy time. What I'm saying is, you need to understand exactly what piece is not working for him. Right. So one of the rule I use is just 3 words: why, what, when. Okay, my husband would never respond to why questions. If I say, hey, why did you want to do this? Just like that, he'll say. But I have to phrase it in a way. We play Jeopardy. This is what I learned. If you want to win, you have to ask it in the form of a question. Yeah. It's very, very technical, like when you deal with difficult people. Yeah. So you need to come from the intention, context of what they were saying. So, for example, we were going for a sauna. So the sauna, he was just saying to me, I'm not allowed to talk when we were driving because he gets overwhelmed when I talk. And I have to only speak when he allows me to. And I have to shut up. The minute I say, Keith, I want to, and he says, hold the thought. We'll address it in 10 minutes. I need to shut up. These are some of the rules I have to play by at home. Mm-hmm, okay, even though it's crazy, but I do it because if by chance I'm going to say I want to cry. Nope, hold it for 10 minutes. Take a deep breath. So I say okay, because I feel I choose to be treated stupid. It's fine by me because it's so easier to be treated stupid. If you're smart, only you have to think. So what?
Crazy.
Yeah, I know it will drive me crazy. It used to.
Yeah.
Now nothing scares me about him because I had to grow beyond that fear. Because I asked him one day, "Why do you intimidate me?" He says, he looks me in my eye and he says, "Honey, I have no power to intimidate you." I said, "Oh my God, he's right."
Right. Yeah.
So he released me then. But anyway, so the second question, I knew it worked because he was asking, "How is the parking when we go there?" So when I asked, "Why did you ask?" He said, "Just like that." So the why question drops.
Yeah.
Only 3 words allowed for me. So then now the next chance, I wait because he has a 15-minute rule. Every 15 minutes, you're allowed to speak. So after 15 minutes, I waited and I said, "What was the intention that made you ask about parking?" Okay, I need to phrase it in that way. So then he says, "Oh, I was already there. I was thinking how it would be. Like, I'm enjoying that experience, so I wanted to know." But he wouldn't privy me to this information before.
Right.
So then I understood where he's coming from because I was paying for the visit.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm thinking, is he thinking he's going to pay for the parking? So is he stressing? So is he wanting money from me? Like, I'm thinking about money.
Right.
You know, I'm
he's thinking something totally different.
Yes, so it was silly. But then my son's graduation came. Or rather, I think it was like a award he was getting for running. So they were telling they can take a bouquet and give it to the family. And because my kids are born from my husband, I keep the same rule. Why, when, what? Okay. So because the why failed already, it's dropped. No, I have what that is successful. So my kids don't want to sit with us. So my youngest one was in one table, my middle one was in this table, my eldest one was getting the bouquet. And my husband immediately says, "Maybe you're going to get the bouquet." And that's when the possibility of maybe not hit me. Because until then, I thought automatically it'd be given to me.
Right.
So, but I didn't know crazy families, right? I was not raised that way. So then I said, "Oh, okay, let me cool it. Like, I'm not disappointed." My son picks up the bouquet and gives it to my youngest one. It crushed me a little bit. Then I said, "Remember, I need to figure out their context." So when they came near, my husband says, "Remember, he understands craziness. So he perfectly is clued in with them. I'm the only one clued out." So he says, "I wouldn't bring up that question if I were you." So I said,
choose your battles.
So I tell him, I don't want to go to my grave wondering.
Right.
So when my eldest one came, I said, "What was the intention behind you not giving me?"
Right.
Oh, no, you not, no, there should be no not word. What was the intention of you giving that bouquet to your youngest brother?
Yeah.
Because you need to come always from the action that is performed.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so many.
So many ways to look at it. And
because if you do not, that is again negative.
Right.
So my eldest one says he kept begging me, "Mom." So he didn't want his youngest brother to be embarrassed. So my eldest one was thinking through, and my youngest one wanted to be introduced to the high school the proper way. So I could understand if everybody's a general. And my youngest one came and gave me the bouquet anyway. But what I'm saying is it prevented me going into a meltdown.
Yeah.
You know, does it make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
But that's what crazy drug addiction family. I'm on the other side of addiction.
Yeah.
Because I know how hard we need to run to keep up with this craziness. But it's worth it.
It is worth it in the end.
This is what validation therapy is. I did like a comprehensive validation therapy with you. Does it make sense to you?
It does make sense to me. It really does.
It is a lot of work, but you know what? It'll be worth it.
It's worth it in the end. It makes it worth it. I know the end comes.